Thank you, Julie. We appreciate the introduction and we appreciate being here for Master Day. Um, have you ever felt like this? Too many things to do and not enough time? Let's get to the right mindset. And that's what we're all about today. The 2023 mindset. It's a simple plan. Learn, plan, do, and review. So let's get started.
So the first one we're going to start with is about learning how to shift our mindset, right? This is the thing. Lots of things have been happening, and we're realizing that we need to learn to shift our mindset. The first thing, and just like Louise had mentioned, we have these brand new incentives, right? And they're very exciting that have been rolled out this month, but they're very, very different. So what do we do about it? You have to decide. You need to understand it. And how to do that? You get an education, right? So Ruben's training that he did the past 2 Saturdays were absolutely fabulous. Please go and look at the video that has been posted on the Nikken Core Consultant WhatsApp for Saturday's training. It was very concise, succinct, very clear, and very thorough. The next one we have, thank you, Dave Roth, is daveroth.com. He does a wonderful job every Monday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And he records them all and he goes through in detail, great details, so that you know exactly and understand and you're educated on the new incentives. And then of course we have Mike DiMuccio, who does every Monday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Mike does an amazing job in teaching us how to be inspired and to shift our mindset and to stay focused and to stay positive. So when you get educated on these 3 things, you are going to be able to understand thoroughly what our new incentive is all about. So now that you know and you understand what these incentives are, you got to decide if you want to do them. And you got to decide why you want to do them. Because if you don't have those 2 things under your belt, you're going to be floundering. So it's really important to decide why you want and why you want to do it. And the last step, I think, is really important. So just as we all know, the incentive plan has 4 components to it, right? There's the Powerhouse, there's the 18K, there's the Mentor Club, and the Mentor Elite Club. Well, when I first looked at it, it was a tad bit overwhelming. And I decided I need to just focus on one thing. So I decided to convert those 4 main topics to 1 main topic. So I'm going to focus on the Powerhouse. And so the Powerhouse, wouldn't you know, it also has 4 components: 3 new customers that get waterfalls and 1 new consultant that does 500 PPV in 1 calendar month. And I decided, I just got to focus on one thing. Yes, there's 4 of them, but I'm going to bring it down and focus on 1. So this month, personally, I've already got my 500 PPV, and now I'm working on each of my customers. And I'm just dripping on them and educating them. And so you just focus on one thing at a time, just baby steps. So how do we do it? And these things are things that I do. You can pick and choose what you like and what works for you. I love affirmations. I love making declarations of the I am. So for instance, on my cell phone, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I get this alarm and it says, ding, 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 smile. And today's affirmation is, I am Powerhouse winner with grace and with peace. So those affirmations to me are very important, and it keeps me going on a daily basis. The next one I do is visualization. Now, those of you that have been athletes, they do visualizations all the time. But it's more than that. It's more than closing your eyes and picturing what happens. It's also about feeling. When you feel, when you've accomplished Powerhouse, how does it make you feel? The people that you've helped, the consultant that you've helped to grow a business, that feels wonderful. Just thinking about it makes my heart smile. So you have to include visualization with the feeling. And the next one I do is vision board. And I'm going to show you that in a little bit. Vision boards are really important, right? A picture speaks 1,000 words. And when you look at these pictures that you have personally selected, you realize, wow, that makes me feel real good. And that also puts a smile on my heart. So I love my vision board. I have it on my phone. I have it on the computer screen, have it posted. It's a very important thing for me to keep my energy up and to keep my mindset in the right place. The next one is, I like to share with people their morning routines. And my morning routine doesn't include all these things, but I wanted to share with you what other people are doing. What that is: meditating, journaling, exercising, and reading, something that's positive. And if you look at these bullet points, affirmations, visualization, meditate, journaling, exercise, and reading are all part of Hal Enron talks about the morning. gosh, just he has a book that talks, it's actually specifically for network marketers. And he talks about these 6 pieces. Morning miracles. That's it. Sorry about that. And then the next one is I have evening routines. Personally, I always review what I'm grateful for that day. And then I also set my intention of what my next day would be because I look at my calendar. And then I meditate. This is when I do a deeper meditation because it totally relaxes me going into a deep sleep on my sleep system. And personally, I like to do 10 deep belly breaths because that completely relaxes my body. And I always strive to get to bed early. So this is the thing. Oh, so this is just quickly a vision board that I created. I used Canva. And then this is the Miracle Morning for Networkers by Hal Enra. You might want to just take a screenshot. That's a great book. It's short, it's easy to read, and it's got really good nuggets for us as network marketers. And then I don't know if you can see it, I don't know how large your screen is, but on the bottom left-hand corner, I put in the Powerhouse, the 18K, the Mentor Club, and Mentor Lead Club. So yeah, thank you. All right, next. So this is the thing. Mindset is a habit. It's something you need to do on a daily basis. And you need to take baby steps. I don't care if it's just one text a day or one email or one Facebook Messenger or one call. Just take baby steps and do it every day. And the last part is it's really important to be consistent. Our business is not, it's not a business like I'll do it when I feel like it. You have to be persistent and consistent, right? We've heard that for years and years and years, but that brings us back to creating a habit, practicing daily and doing baby steps. So it really does come to that. You have to protect your mindset. And these are some of the things that I do to keep my mindset strong. So go ahead, Mary, you're going to do about planning.
Thanks, Ruth. And all of that learning is important. You just put it into a plan. So we need you to plan your day, your week, your month, your quarter, and year, all that just to meet your personal and business goals. So the segment here, we're going to, instead of writing all these words out all the time, A stands for annual, Q stands for quarterly, M stands for monthly, W for weekly, and D for daily. So now you've got the system. You'll understand this more. Our personal goals, or how we can be humans being more, start with the 5 pillars of wellness. And we have mind, healthy body, healthy family, healthy finances, and healthy society as goals. So what you can do is work with your mentor and set your annual and quarterly Humans Being More goals. You can attend the Humans Being More seminars and workshops that Jeff Isom gives, and you can learn more and set these goals. Once you do, you can plan the consistent actions that Ruth talked about. You can also make a vision board, and she's given you a great example. Once you do it, though, you've got to post it. Post it where you can see it every day. Like she says, it's on her computer, it's on her wall. I know people that have it in front of them in the bathroom as they get ready in the morning. It's all over the mirror. So you want to plan, though, annual and quarterly reviews of these goals so you see how you're doing, and then celebrate your wins. Always celebrate. Now, in our business goals, the annual, quarterly, monthly, and weekly business goals are, again, work with your mentor to set up your business plan. You want a business plan that's going to take you through the whole year, or at least quarter by quarter, so that you know what those goals are and what you're reaching for. For example, how much money do you need to earn every month or every week? How much weekly time do you have available? How long is your list of contacts? And how do you make it longer? How do you keep adding to that list of contacts every single day? And are you going to use social media? So part of this business plan, of course, is recruiting and retailing and team building. So we're going to definitely recommend and definitely support and encourage, highly encourage, sometimes require, use that incentive plan. It's absolutely phenomenal. Map out your team on a chart in your office where you can see it every day. Keep your goals in front of you. And sometimes on that map with the goals, the circles are empty. And then as you work, you fill in those goals, you fill in those circles, and you see where you're going. You see your progress, and plan weekly, monthly, and quarterly reviews of that plan. Again, talk to your mentor, celebrate the wins, and go silver. Help others go silver. How to do this? Set up your annual, monthly, and weekly calendar. Now, this is my planner. I can't see everything, that's okay. But I have it set out in front of me every day. And it's got a portion where I can definitely get through what's happening every day. It's got a place where I can keep track of my expenses for the week. And it's got another place where I can see the whole year. But one of the things that I do every single year, quarterly, monthly, weekly, is I check out what are the Nikken events. Now, Ruben's already posted the calendar for the whole year of all the Nikken events. You can find that in your back office. So go there on that page, right down at the bottom, it's in the list. Download it. Make sure you know what Nikken events are there. Add your monthly and weekly team events and your team planning calls and anything else that's happening with your team. And then add the monthly and weekly leader Zooms. And we've got so many. Ruth mentioned a couple. There's a lot of different things that you can add to your calendar to make sure that you're plugged in and that you keep up with what's going on. Now, you also have to schedule your available time. And this is a shot of from my cell phone with a calendar on my phone. One of the things that I learned how to do is block the time and schedule different times of the day. So you can block the time for weekly and daily self-care. You can block time for development. You can block time for the weekly and daily business activity. Of course, you want to make sure you do that when people are active. You can block time for your monthly and weekly business review. Now, you would do that after hours. And you can set a call time with your mentor. Plan in-person ABCs, Zooms, training, everything can all be planned in your calendar. But remember, allow grace. Allow yourself grace for being human. We're not perfect. It's a plan. It's not set in stone. Things can be changed. Things can be adapted. Give yourself grace, but give yourself a goal and keep continuously improving and striving for those goals. Barb, tell us how to do things. You're muted, Barb.
Thank you, Ruth and Mary, for setting the stage for the mindset of learning and planning. And now it's my goal to set the stage for how we do this. So this is where the rubber meets the road. So the intention, I really want to make sure that you understand that your intention when you're going to perform your activities and implementation is that you have the intention to achieve what you've already written in your plan, that you want to go that route, you want to make sure it happens, and you have the intention that it will happen. And then the other thing is, what is your DMO, your daily method of operation? That's very important, and I'll go into some of that. And then the last thing is, which we've all talked about, is using the incentives. It's crucial, and it's a roadmap. So this is the fun part. The other big thing is be authentic and enthusiastic. It's not going to do you any good to just be a machine. You just need to believe in what you're doing, have the confidence in what you're doing, have the intention, and be enthusiastic. And of course, have fun. So your daily method of operation. You want to accomplish your intention, right? So what are some steps to do that on a daily basis? There are several things, and add to the list of contacts that Mary mentioned. And if you're like me, there's no lack of contacts. You could be driving, you think of somebody. You could be at a meeting, you think of somebody. You could be in the shower, you think of somebody. There's no lack of people on social media. So just keep adding to your list. And of course, I wrote down here 3, but every day you should be contacting people. You should be contacting your customers. You should be contacting, of course, new people and your consultants. And you might be new and not have a team of consultants yet. So that's okay. But once you do, you want to keep up with the active ones. Be in touch with them so that you know and you can help strategize with them. And really, for those of us that have people that are inactive, we've got a wealth of people there to contact and build that relationship, find out where they are now. Are they interested in what's new with Nikken? We've got so many people we can contact, but you need to do it daily, and you can choose the number of you want to do daily based on your goals. And of course, ABCs, very, very important. This is where you bring in a third party to reiterate what you're saying, to help educate the new person or the customer. And what's so beautiful about this is that can be one-on-one, it can be a phone call, it can be a Zoom call, it can be a tool. And we have so many tools on our Nikken Share app. We have tools. So make sure that you're utilizing this concept every day. And follow up. I heard this statement years ago, and it was, is follow up important? No, it's everything. So it doesn't do you any good if you're contacting all these people, but you don't follow up. So to me, it's the most important concept to get under your belt and have a daily method of how you're going to do that. And of course, new contacts, that's a given that you're going to follow up with them, but you want to follow up with your customers as well. And there's 3 critical times you should follow up with the customer. One is after, first of all, when my new customers, I send them a written thank you note. But then I want to follow up in about a week to make sure they got their product and do they have any questions about it. And then maybe 2 to 3 weeks, check in with them. Are they using their product? Do they like their product? Do they have any questions? And do they have anybody they could refer that would benefit? So it's so important. And the other thing with customers is have an ongoing. And what I love about our Nikken Share app is you can put reminders in there. So another critical time is anybody that has the water system or the air system, you need to follow up when their filters need to be replaced. And then ongoing, it might be every 2 or 3 months you check in with a customer. I have such favorite customers that maybe if they're local, once every quarter, I'll call them and go to lunch. So very, very important to do follow-up. And of course, personal development. And Ruth alluded to this, and I'm not somebody at night that can read because I'd fall asleep on the first page, but my morning time is when I read. And there are several books out there. Here's a couple that I particularly like. And The Power of Awareness by Neville Goddard is huge for your mindset, no matter what you're doing. And then The Power of One More by Ed Milet is a good book. So I recommend, and the reason the personal development is so important is for me, starting my day, to carve out that 15 minutes, whatever it is, so you can get in the right mindset. And then grow your team. So this is one of the things that's so important. We want to build our business, so that means growing your team. And so you teach the powerhouse. Wow, what a wonderful little incentive we have, and a duplicatable process that's so easy, not only to earn income, but rank advancement and be able to build their teams. And then weekly communication. You might initially with a new person, you might do daily communication, just like Ruth and Karen did. But you want to make sure that you're in contact with your team. That's active. And that's important for several reasons. Not only do you brainstorm, you report what you're doing, you give each other ideas, but it's support, and it keeps you in the mindset. And of course, team events. That can be virtual team events, it can be local team events, but when you do things together with your team or help them create events for their teams, then everybody stays in sync and everybody is excited about what they're doing. And of course, mentor and hold them accountable. So if you have somebody that's building their business, help strategize with them, create an environment where you can hold them accountable, and just the process goes on. The other thing is go with the flow. This is probably one of the hardest things, is to be patient, either with your customers, your new contacts, or your consultants, because it's not about you, it's about them. And it's got to be on their time. And this, quite honestly, is a big challenge, is to be patient, but it's so critical because you're really building relationships and the trust so that then they will continue to do what you will do. And of course, use the tools. We have phenomenal tools, all the WhatsApp groups that are out there that, we get educated, we help each other, Telegram, The Nikken back office now is coming up with phenomenal things. And I love, love, love the Nikken Share app. And that is a very important tool. And I mentioned earlier, it's your way to get your reminders there. So instead of writing them down in your calendar, you can use your Share app to remind you to follow up. Did I say I like the Share app? Anyway, training calls. We have so many training calls, as both Ruth and Mary mentioned. And so jump on those. What this is all telling you is to stay connected. When you stay connected, you learn more, you plan more, you implement more. And attend what we have with corporate, which are all these events. The Balanced Life, Happy Life, a weekly venue for you to bring new people to educate about our products. And of course, Seikokai, Master Day, the kickoff calls, and Nikken Next. All of these are there for you to plug into, and plug your team into. And of course, tracking, very important. So you want to document your progress. So if you have a goal of what you want to reach, whether it's the powerhouse, whether it's going silver, advance in rank, the 18 club, you want to track what's happening. Now, some people do that on a spreadsheet very easily, like the two before me, but others will want to just write it down and have a mechanism. Doesn't matter how you do it, just do it, okay? And track what you're doing. Not only your contacts, but your customers. Remember, it's so crucial. And plus, it gives me, when I'm tracking and I look at what I've done, that makes me feel good. So you want to feel good in order to produce, right? And check your genealogy, which is easy to do on our back office. And weekly reviews, what's working for you, okay? And that happens, I love doing that really with the team. And so do more of what's working and maybe tweak, okay? So that's kind of how I do and implement and put the action steps into place. Now, what we want to do is take a few minutes and just review, assess results, revise, or repeat activities and share with you, okay?
So, Ruth, why don't you start?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things when I'm looking at all the things I do to keep my mindset in check and to stay positive is after I've done it for about a week, sometimes it takes longer, but at a minimum, I do look at least monthly to evaluate, okay, what did I do this past month and what felt really good? And what do I need to shift? Do I need to meditate more often? Do I need to go for a walk more often? Do I need to be listening to them? Do I need to be listening past? So I'll look at that and switch and swap things out just because, you know, it's a different month and it's a different time in my life. So I do look at that at least monthly, but sometimes maybe every 2 weeks or so. And that's how I check into my mindset. How about you, Mary?
One of the things that I do is to just make sure that I don't put 2 Zooms back to back or 3 or 4, that I do need to schedule myself a break and to give yourself, you know, that space and time. I think we're shifting back and forth from the online to the in-person and to group things and watching a Zoom or watching a webinar and giving, you know, making sure that that plan and that schedule is working for me. And I can tell you, it doesn't work to schedule 4 Zooms in a row that each go an hour. That's insane. So you learn, you review and think, next week, I'm not going to do that. Barb, what about you?
Well, just like you've all mentioned, and, you know, reviewing, for instance, if you have a goal for the month, whether it's the powerhouse or whatever, you need to kind of look at that mid-month to make sure you're on track and change your strategy if it's not working. And there's various times, just like Ruth said, to do the review, but it's kind of a reflection. And I think the aha too for me is, again, figure out what's not working. Because, you know, we keep doing the things over and over and they're not working. So maybe switch that out and be open to new ideas, I guess. And the small habits, I think that's critical. If you know there's something that needs to be changed, what's the small habit you can do so it's not stressful and you're making a difference? So yeah, I think the reviewing happens, and it happens whenever you feel you need to. But for me, I like to make sure I'm doing that at least monthly.
So when we, I'm going to share back again. Okay, I love technology. We
So I
say
always
that
tell
every day.
people, oh, there we go.
It's coming.
Okay, thank you. There you go. What you focus on is what grows. It is really important. Choose wisely what you're going to focus on. Make sure it's positive.
And we treasure what we measure. And if we know that we're moving along and getting progress, it makes us feel good.
And celebrate the wins and have fun. You've got to enjoy this. If you're not enjoying it, it won't work. That's my theory. So enjoy.
So let's learn, plan, do, and review to succeed in 2023.